I remember going through life and having people telling me to be seen and not heard. That was something that was very much preached when I was growing up. So now I'm determined to be seen and heard. Like, no, I'm taking back my voice. This is my voice and I can use it how I want to. And that's what I tell other people when I'm out doing public speaking and comedy. I tell people, if you have something that might be embarrassing, use that as your gas to go forward. Use that, because the thing about it is we all have embarrassing stories, but not all of us are bold enough to call our own selves out. You know what I'm saying? If you take that power back and you make it your narrative, nobody can use it to hurt you.
Hello, and welcome to Power Beyond Pride, a queer change-making podcast bringing you voices and ideas from across our fierce and fabulous spectrum to transform our world. I'm Hunter, and I am the creepy little monster that is underneath your bed at night that tickles the soles of your feet.
And I'm Kenyon Farrow. I am a writer, strategist, activist, and also sometimes known as your favorite Butch Queen's favorite Butch Queen.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. So in this episode, we're talking power, passion, and policy with the magnificent Mattie. Mattie has been fighting to be heard and fighting to amplify other voices as well. Mattie has been on the TV show My Big Fat Fabulous Life on TLC and acted in multiple stage plays, including her one-woman show, Mattie Larger Than Life.
Her mission is to spread love and laughter while showing people that they are all worthy and deserve love. Mattie does that through working in the community and trying to foster a safe space for all. So Mattie, what do you want to see changed in the world? What is your vision or motivation for that change?
Well, first off, hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you for having me here today. I would say the one thing I would want to see changed in the world is labels being dropped. I am so tired of people being labeled, whether it is by your gender, by your race, by your sex, by your creed, by your party affiliation. Why does it matter? Why can't we just be one community and love each other and we all work for the greater good? I think my strategy to seeing that come to fruition is by just creating that space, or trying my best to continuously create spaces where people can be seen and heard. Because I think a lot of times when we try to categorize things or when we try to make things specific, a lot of times people feel not heard and not seen or left out. And if we just create one general space, then everybody can be heard in their own way.
How do you feel your queerness has informed and impacted your movement work?
Honestly, I think it has actually given me the ability to do more active work, because when I think of queer, I think of, for me, queer as being different and having the audacity, and the boldness to be different. And so with that, it has allowed me to stand in spaces that most spaces probably wouldn't be accepting of me if I cared more about what people thought, or if I tried to conform to what the world thought I should conform to. So, because ironically, I remember growing up, everybody thought I was going to be a pastor.
You too? Me too.
I think they say that to every gay little boy. I'm just sorry, but I really don't think that's all over me.
They want you to testify, but not in the way that you want to testify.
Beauty of it, though, I did not realize at that age, like it hit me now, that I may not be a pastor, but I'm still a minister. And that is because I'm still spreading a good message of peace, love, and joy. I'm still ministering to people that no matter what, who, when, where you are, you deserve a space to know that somebody loves you, if not everybody. So I do believe it's still a form of ministry, but if I wasn't queer, I don't think I could have gotten the same message across.
I think you're still providing that testimony. You're a living proof and testimony in that respect.
I'll try to be. I mean, I was actually talking to a friend about it. I think it was like a week and a half ago. I was talking about it and I was telling them, I'm like, I used to think, what if? That whole dreadful what if? What if I was born a girl? What if I was born not a gay, trans, beautiful, mutant person? What if I was just a heterosexual person? What if I was just, and that's nothing against my heterosexual people. I love y'all too. I say y'all can't be special. But what I'm saying is, what if? And then I got to thinking, that's the beauty that I love about God, that I still have my relationship with God, that He said the least of these. I will use the least of these to get my point across. So when people make a comment and say, you strayed away from the path, how do you know? How do you know God didn't create me this way so that I would be a conversation starter? How do you know God didn't create me this way so I could be a vehicle for change? Because if I walk like you and talk like you, then we wouldn't change nothing. So that's the way I look at it.
That just gave me chills. Wow.
Yeah. So, what are the ways that you are, inspired to do your work, as a kind of change agent to transform the world? What inspires you? And what do you think that you use and draw from to inspire other people to transform?
I would definitely say comedy is what I use. But I think comedy is universal because it gets everybody out of their head. My motto is if I can make you laugh first, I can feed your soul secondly. So
Right.
that way, if I can get you out of your head and stop thinking about the pretenses of what we're going to discuss, then I can go ahead and just feed you without you even realize you eat my food. But I draw off of that. And also I draw off of my own life. My life has not been easy. It's funny. I get called the rich auntie now, and most people don't realize I'm broke as a joke, but it's all good. I look good while doing it. But I use that. I use those moments in my life, being diagnosed with diseases. And at 10, I was diagnosed with Crohn's and given 6 months to live. And I'm 40 this year. Using the time where I was raped and molested and trying to figure out how do I stand from that, or being in my teens and being raped again. Most people don't realize that trauma that you go through, it shows up in every aspect of every season of your life. Also, coming from a Black family and a Southern family, I remember having conversations with my mom about being raped and molested. And the stigma around it was, well, we don't discuss it in public, and it's just like, but why do we keep those things secret? You want me to be gay, but not too gay. Be happy, but don't be flamboyant. Be loud, but don't be too extravagant. And why do I? Why do we cap it all? Because sometimes you might need to be that extravagantly flamboyant, happy person that's suffering from PTSD of trauma that hasn't been put on them environmentally throughout their life just to cope to get through the next phase of your life. But if we keep telling people to stop, then how do they make it? I hope that answered the question.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
On those same lines of like, how do you transform those experiences that are like, without a doubt, those are traumatizing experiences that can really manifest in negative ways for folks as a means of coping, and especially for Black Southern folk. We don't talk about it, or we keep it bottled up, or we're trying to make ourselves as kind of like up against the wall as possible so that we're not standing out too much. So I say all of that to ask, how have you been able to transform that into something that is a mechanism for change? And also, how do you use those experiences to grow into who you are?
I definitely think I own it. That's the biggest thing is I have to own it. And even through the trauma, I have to own it. And when I say own it, I don't mean I take on the burden. No, I don't. But I own it in the sense where you don't have control over me no more. And let's just use with, rape and molestation. Those particular things, I don't allow that person to have power over me no more. So now I own it. That's my narrative to tell. That's my story to tell. That's my PTSD to relive or to not relive or to put away. So now I can actually unpack it. Because how do you unpack somebody else's shit? You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to own it. So that's one of the ways that I take those negative moments or negative things in my life and turn them into positive forces for change is I take back my ownership. I remember going through life and having people telling me to be seen and not heard. That was something that was very much preached when I was growing up. So now I'm determined to be seen and heard. Like, no, I'm taking back my voice. This is my voice and I can use it how I want to. And that's what I tell other people when I'm out doing public speaking and comedy. I tell people, if you have something that might be embarrassing, use that as your gas to go forward. Use that, because the thing about it is we all have embarrassing stories, but not all of us are bold enough to call our own selves out. You know what I'm saying? If you take that power back and you make it your narrative, nobody can use it to hurt you. Same thing with our change as a community. I think we as a community need to take the narrative back of what our community is. What is pride? What is power beyond pride? What do we want to see change? Because right now, I think we live in a climate where change is inevitable, but what change are we going to have? Is it good change? Is it bad change? But we know things are constantly changing. And for some people, that itself is an issue. Some people don't know how to respond to change, period. So they should. So we got to take our power back. We have to take our voices back, and then we have to use them just like our ancestors did, just like the people before us did. That's the same thing as ancestors. But you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what we have to do. We have to stand firm, because Stonewall wouldn't have happened if we hadn't took our own voice back. And civil rights itself wouldn't have been a movement if we haven't lifted every voice that we had and used it. And that's just not just for Black and brown people. That's for all minority groups. That's for all people who are not at the risk of getting in trouble, cis, white, gendered male men. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, on that note, let's take a short commercial break here and get back to y'all in less than a minute. Please don't leave us, because we're just getting warmed up in our conversation with Mattie. And we're back. Thank you so much for listening. And hello, Mattie. I know that earlier in our discussion, we had started the conversation around faith and spirituality and the intersections with queerness. And I mean, I can see so much, and even just what we've discussed so far, that there is a lot of spirituality and a lot of faith that you still hold very deeply. And I want to honor that. And let's have a conversation around that.
I love it. I definitely feel like that's one of my missions, is to teach people, or not even teach people, but just show people that you can have a relationship with God regardless. One thing. That's it. Like, you can have a relationship with God regardless. He created you. I didn't create you. Times Magazine didn't create you. Wall Street Journal didn't create you. You are not a cosmopolitan split out. God created you. So you can have a relationship with him. And I think we get the church, let me put it like that. The church has made such a stance on division when there was never no division in the first place. You know, like, God said, come as you are to everybody, right? We are all his children. So for me, faith is always going to be really high inside me, because I was taught, I think that's my safe place. Even though me and the church had a falling out, my alone time with God in the garden is my safe place. That's where I go to get rejuvenated, is solidarity with God.
And I'll just ask you too, a follow up from that. Like, how do you think things in the kind of, larger culture, or just within the kind of Black community and faith, has evolved around, trans issues, around, queer people in general? Do you feel like things have gotten better? Have they gotten worse? Is it mixed?
Growing up in the 80s in the church, and the 90s in the church, and I grew up United Methodist. So I count myself a blessing, because of the fact that the United Methodist is one of the most progressive when it comes to church, religion, and faith. But I grew up United Methodist, and I remember at one point I was actually very heavily working in the church. I was head of the youth group. I was working with the children's dance ministry, the youth choir, different organizations. And it behooved me, because I've always been me. I've never changed who I was. And there was a phase in my life where I tried to be more masculine than feminine, but that didn't last long. But I tried, you know what I'm saying? I gave it a good college try, but I've never changed who I was. So when I started working heavily in the same church that I grew up in, the same church that I was confirmed in, the same church that they saw me being baptized until now, and then having cousins. I have cousins who are part of the family as well, LGBT, and they would actively be involved in church. No one asked them to step down, but I got asked to step down, because for some reason, my lifestyle was going to create such a ruckus in the church. And it felt very odd to me, because at the time, the funny thing was I was abstinent at church probably 7 days a week. And I was not doing anything worldly, but because of the fact that I chose to live my life clear and out loud and be the bold person I was, it was a bunch of misconceptions of, well, you know what they do. And I'm like, well, who is they and what do they do? I don't know. Because if anything, I'm at church on Sunday, 3 times on Sunday for service, Monday for cleanup, Tuesday is my rest day, Wednesday is Bible study, Thursday is choir rehearsal, Friday is youth Sunday, Saturday is prepping for Sunday. So when do I have time to do anything else? Ooh. Where is everything else at?
Right.
But for some reason, I'm this horrible person. So I would definitely say I think the conversation has gotten better since then because there's an actual conversation. I remember at that time I got pulled into the office and it was like, this is what's going to happen. And there was no discussion around it. It was no, how do you feel about your faith? Where do you feel like you stand with God? What do you want out of your faith? None of that. Whereas now I do see in churches, and predominantly Black churches, I will say that, where there is a discussion happening. It may not always be the best discussion, but we're starting to talk. I think that's the beautiful thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So what else is on your schedule right now? What else are you doing?
Trying to sleep.
Because I mean, like, yeah, I was going to say, do you sleep?
Yeah, properly.
I would never say trying to sleep. So I have been writing a book for 40 years. I'm telling y'all, like it literally took me 40 years to write this book. But I have a book that hopefully, by all intents and purposes, will be out this year. That is the culmination of my 40th birthday, about my journey, my life, and I'm loving it. When I tell y'all, it has been such a journey writing this book because it has made me cry all over again, made me laugh all over again. I had to go back, and this is to answer your question earlier, Hunter, how do I stay in the moment? I had to go back and ask forgiveness again from some people and offer forgiveness to some people because I thought I was over some things, and I realized that writing this book that, yeah, no, I'm still mad as hell, and fuck your motherfucking ass. I don't want to talk to you no more. Like, I still have those moments. So it's been very cathartic. I get it. I definitely understand it because I had to ask myself for forgiveness. I think that was the biggest thing. I had to ask myself because for so long, I have tried to keep such a strong persona because I've been keeping, this is going to get deep, but keeping so many secrets together, my secrets, other people's secrets, and trying not to shame other people. Because I think that's the biggest thing that I suffer from. And a lot of people I know in our community that do suffer from is that we're naturally shamed on so many levels that I don't want to in turn shame somebody else. So even though you may have mistreated me, I didn't out you or say anything because I thought I was protecting you from being shamed. And I had to realize, no, that's not my job. That's not my job. And I had to ask for forgiveness for myself. I dedicate the book to my mom because she passed away 6 years ago. And so she left me with a beautiful golden nugget to start writing. And literally, we were having a conversation. I make a joke about it now. It's not funny at the time, but it's funny now. We were having a conversation and her exact words were, I'm going to take a nap because I'm tired and we'll finish the conversation. And then she proceeded to go into a coma, never waked up. So literally, she left me with a cliffhanger. So I was like, well, it's time for me to figure out what she meant by that. And it was time for me to dig into me. And so writing a book, I am definitely getting back into acting. I miss acting and doing comedy. That is my first passion. That's my outlet. I know we talk about therapy, and I think therapy is a good thing, but my therapy is standing on stage and letting it all out. Telling everybody, I do not mind, because if I tell you my business, Wendy Williams and the rest of them can't use it against me later on. You know what I'm saying? So yes, most definitely keep looking out for that. Like I said, I got a book, the podcast that we're doing now. I'm grateful for it. And I have some auditions coming up. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and been playing around with the idea of becoming a lobbyist. But that's another conversation for another.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you in the ether and being like, so who are we arguing for today?
Hello. Corridors, honey. We got to get in them corridors. Because that's what the conversation is. That's what the conversation is. We can sit out here all day and have conversation. But if we're not in the room having conversation and effective change in the room, then what's the purpose of having conversation?
Or just the intent of rebuilding the table instead of always asking for a seat. Let's rebuild it.
Mhm.
And I think that also includes having that representation that maybe we didn't see and being that representation.
That's why I love that I live in the age where Sarah McBride can be a congressman. I love
Love it.
And let me tell you something. One thing I love so much, and I not plan on giving her a shout out, but go on, girlfriend. I love that when they come at her, she don't even flinch.
She don't care.
She don't.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I love how unfazed she is, or at least that is how she shows up in the spaces. I don't want to speak for how she feels, but I do want to say that it's inspiring to show that she shows up every day and comes with the same message of, no, I deserve to be here, because she does. And I hope that there's other little inspirational moments for people to see that. And they're just like, you know what? I could do that.
Because I'm a big girl, but I'll be the first one to tell you, I am very blubbery. I cry at everything. And when she got announced, I sat at my house and I bawled. I was so happy.
I had chills.
So happy.
Chills.
I remember calling my cousin and she was like, well, how do you think you won the Congress seat? I'm like, I did. I was right there with it. I may not live in Delaware, but I will be one of your constituents. Yes, I will. So
Yeah, this opens up so many avenues. I love to see this evolving even in the landscape where we're not supposed to be visible, I guess. But I want to see those changes for folks. And that also sometimes means that we have to walk into those spaces and be that inspiration or be that testament. Hello, again, for people that want that visibility and may not know that you can have these things.
Yeah. And to that point, what would your advice be to other people, trans experience, queer folks, Black folks, whomever? What would be your advice for people who want to make change, want to feel like they're a part of change making as activists, as artists, as what have you, but don't quite know how to get there? What would you tell those folks?
I'm a big mama, so I'm going to break it down the best way I know how. They not going to like you, babe. They not. If you can get past that, then you can fight any battle that comes your way. Being an activist is if you want change, let's not even talk about activism. If you want to be a part of change, you got to understand it. They not going to like it. I say they, I mean the opposition, the massive, whoever you're going up against. That, I think, is the biggest advice I can give anybody that's wanting to create or see change, is to understand that it's going to be an uphill battle that's worth it. You're going to spend more days cussing and fussing and probably feeling like you ain't done nothing in life, but I promise you it's worth it. Just keep going. That's the way it is. I have spent many a days and nights telling my friends and family, I ain't done shit. Then it just make noise. That's all I do. But then you get that one glimmer of hope to see someone that you never met a day in your life. And they tell you that I felt comfortable coming out to my family because you were okay with being who you were. I was comfortable with coming to work and being my full self at work because you showed up in your areas where you need to show up and just be yourself. And that's what it's about. So I would say be okay with being not liked and be prepared to not have sleep. Those are going to be your two biggest words of wisdom I can give. But yes.
Sounds good. I wouldn't disagree with either one of those. So I hear you.
So we need to stop here and take another short break, but we'll continue our conversation about Mattie's movement, inspiration, and work after a really short break. So please stay tuned to Power Beyond Crime.
All right. So first, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. Just having this conversation, learning more about you and your work. But before you leave, we had a few rapid fire questions that we want to ask you so the audience gets to know you even better. Now, are you ready to take the plunge?
I mean, my life is an open book, so go ahead.
All right. So first question, what would be your strategy to survive a zombie apocalypse?
I would definitely say kill as many as I possibly could. Vengeance is mine, thus said the Lord. There you go.
That's fair. I'll take it. Okay, so your go-to karaoke song.
Oh, always Last Dance by Donna Summers.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna ask you. So
Yes.
now, okay, so that's an up tempo. So now I want to know what's your ballad go-to.
I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
Cool, very
You
good.
know it?
Yes. Donna Summer, I'll just tell you real quick. Donna Summer was how my family knew I was gay as a kid. I was obsessed with Donna Summer at like
I
4
mean,
years old in the late 70s.
She made the
Donna's-
first like synth pop, like synth album with
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it? What's the name of the song?
I Feel Love. Is that
Yes, I Feel Love, and it was like an 11-minute track or something like that.
Learn
Like
to
it
Love You,
was
but yes.
I Feel Love You? Yeah, like both. Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
like just
Donna-
incredible.
have you ever went back and watched the movie about her? Her biopic?
No.
It's on HBO Max. Her daughter did it. Go watch it.
Oh, no, I did watch it. I did watch it.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's such a good movie. Oh
Yeah.
my, I fell in love with
Such
Donna
an
Summers all
incredible
over again.
artist.
Yeah.
I cannot
So-
wait. Yeah.
All right. So, next question. What's your most awkward sexual experience?
Okay, I have two of those. Can I have time to tell both stories?
Yes.
Hey,
I want to
yeah,
know.
take-
Okay, the first one, I would definitely say, Lord, please forgive me. So I was working at the time, and I had went to a party after I got off work. I was a hairstylist, so I went to a party afterwards with a friend of mine. So I did not eat. So there was a lot of liquor and there was a lot of weed at this birthday party, and I had not ate all day.
Oh
Got
my-
back to his house, and we were having relations at the end of the night.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, I remember the motion of the ocean. I was like, I have to go throw up because now all this rum and everything has come out. In the process of me in the bathroom throwing up, this guy came and slid right back inside me and continued. Sex was me while I was throwing.
What?
But no, here's the crazy part. Y'all know I'm a comedian, so here's the gotcha part. At first, I felt violated. But every time my body, even with the throw up, the thrust action, I was like, this might feel good. I don't know if this is a thing that we can recreate over again. But so yeah, I would say that would be the number one craziest thing I've done during sex. I think that was the question. I hope it was, because if not, I just told all my business.
Good God.
Oh, and I would say the second time was when I got caught by the cops having sex in the park at Winston-Salem at 1 o'clock in the morning on the picnic tables.
Was it on a Tuesday? Like the specific, you knew right down to like, I'm like, what day of the week was
It was
it?
actually not a Tuesday. It was a Thursday night. But if this person is listening now, he's probably laughing his ass off because he knows who he is. And the cop does too. Because it was interesting because long story short, I got the cops' number before the night was over with. So just know that clearly I'm good at what I do. All right.
Oh my God.
Show over. Yeah, like,
Oh, my face hurts.
ah. Wow.
That's it.
All right. Okay, two more. I'm scared to. I'm
Right.
scared
Are
to-
we going to live past two more questions?
Like, girl, she started out talking about God. Now she's talking about getting caught.
All right. Yeah. So, on this similar thread, have you ever been turned on at work?
Yes. It was actually when I worked for a company in Atlanta. So when I lived in Atlanta, I was in a meeting, and me and one of the people I worked with were not having relations just yet, but that day culminated us in having relations because we had been flirting. And while I was sitting at the boardroom table to everybody, that person was sitting across from me, and the whole time they just kept staring at me, and I could not stop laughing to save my life. The way he kept staring at me was just like, I'm going to treat you like the chocolate chip cookie that Hunter makes, and I'm going to devour every part you'll be in. And I'm sitting here trying to compose myself to be in a meeting because I am like the executive assistant to the president of the company I'm working with, and I'm just like, okay, well, needless to say, we didn't make it out the parking deck, but yes, it happened.
Okay. All righty. Well, all right. And the last question in this round: what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received was actually not given to me, but it was a piece of advice I heard, and it's from Felicia Rashad. And she said, it's not the issue of having wealth or money. The problem is, what is your mental state when you receive the wealth and the money? So because I have a big issue with getting money. Like I have a big issue with being paid money because I feel like that money makes people evil. I do. I am one of them people. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think money does drive people to be evil. So I have an issue around it. But listening to her say that made me realize it's not about the money itself. It's about the mentality of which you have. So, yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, you won the speed round. I don't even.
I mean, oh my God.
Never ask a comedian speed questions because we got a story for everything. Come on now.
I mean, the way you just quickly, without hesitation, yes.
Just say it. Like I told you, if I don't say it, someone's going to use it against me. So at least this way, nobody can come out and say, oh, I got a scandal. Nope, Mattie done told her own business. I don't care.
Right. That's part of the ownership. And you're taking ownership over that because that is yours to tell and not for somebody else to feel like they can run wild with that story. So, what a better way than this to wrap up our conversation. That's all we have for today's show. And Mattie, do you want to tell folks how they can reach out to you or to follow your work?
Most definitely. You can always hit me up on Instagram. My IG is Mattie Simone 737. Not Mattie's mom, but Mattie Simone. MTIESYMON 737. And on Facebook at Mattie Bynum. And I have a TikTok, but I'm going to tell you right now, I am horrible at TikTok. So please pray that I get stronger with it. I am trying to post videos. It's too many. It's much. Because someone asked me if I had threads. No, I cut threads off when they hang out my clothes. I don't like them.
Oh my
No, I
God.
don't have a thread. I want to have a YouTube channel, Mattie Bynum. There you go.
There you go. Thank you. I'm your co-host, Hunter. You can follow me at HNTRgraphy on Instagram. That's HNTRGRAPHY.
And I'm Kenyon Farrow, and you can follow me pretty much on most apps just as my name, KENYONFARROW at Kenyon Farrow on all the platforms. So with that, again, we want to thank you, Mattie, for joining us in today's conversation and sharing so much. No judgment, but sharing.
Yep.
Look, read the book. That's a preview to the book. Read the book.
Yes, right. And so just for the audience out there, remember to subscribe and get your friends, call the homies, call your boos, your bays, your side pieces, everybody to subscribe to
even
Power
your mama, your
Beyond
daddy.
Pride. Yes. And you can subscribe wherever you get your podcast and check out our website, powerbeyondpride.com. Thank you.
Power Beyond Pride is a project from A Great Idea, a queer-owned design and content agency. Learn more about them at agreatidea.com.
This episode is produced by Shane Lucas. Smita Sarkar is doing project development, and our editor is Jared Redding with support from Ian Wilson.
We are both part of this podcast host team, and we invite you to send in your questions and comments at powerbeyondpride.com.
We look forward to queer change making with you at Power Beyond Pride.